Okay, MMTV, we are live from Marlin Mancini's studio in Manchester. It is our first anniversary, so everyone's had a drink and it's a bit rowdy, but they're going to keep quiet now for our next guest, because not only is a top mate of mine, he is one of the most renowned and respected DJs in Manchester. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome up an old friend of mine to the stage, the one and only, the brilliant Jay Wearden. Hurrah! I don't know why, every time we see each other he says hurrah. Is that like a Jay Wearden thing or what?
I think how it started, I couldn't spell hooray.
So you went for hurrah as well?
So that's what it was.
So you're watching MMTV, we're live from Manchester, and I can just say it's brilliant to see Jay, because apart from when I'm interviewing him, normally it's backstage at a club or a festival or something, and it's like walking past each other, all right mate, it's one of them minutes, so...
I just usually feel your arse as I walk past.
Is it you that does that?
Yeah.
It's me thinking I had these girls feel it's you.
You got a lovely arse as well.
Well, funnily enough, right, speaking of that, right, so 31 years as a DJ,
yeah.
You don't look old enough.
I started when I was 10.
Is that what it was? Yeah. It's 31 years since you started your career as a DJ. Yeah. Take us back. What are your very first... Let's go back to Jay Wearden as a kid. What are your first memories of music?
I think music has always been part of me, really. I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to be a pop star, when I first started. And I think me and two of my friends tried to make a band when we were 10. One of my friends was a really talented drummer, Carl Mansell. And the other two of us were absolute dog shit. And I don't even know what we did. I think we just danced around. And I knew it was my calling music, but I didn't know what it was. So it was in the days before hip-hop and things like that. And I eventually got into black music, and I went to a lot of hip-hop clubs. I couldn't dance, which is a bit shit. I couldn't beatbox, I couldn't rap, so what else could I do? So
Stand and shout, hurrah!
Yeah, so I started scratching, and I wasn't even the best at scratching, to be honest.
As a kid, though, your first memories, you say music's always part of your life. Before you started going to them hip-hop gigs and stuff, what music did you listen to as a kid?
A lot of electronic stuff. I was really into Human League and Gary Newman.
So it's always been that electronic sound you've...
It has, really. I really identify with it. But I must say, both bands on here tonight have been absolutely super.
That's what we do at MMTV, proper rock and roll television.
This is the low point.
Do you know what, honestly, when I found out you were on it, I was absolutely buzzing with it. So, first of all, before you started going into the dance stuff, you were saying you were always into like the electronic sound even as a kid.
Yeah, and...
Your first thing was, correct me if I'm wrong, but the first project you did before you became the DJ you are, it was a hip-hop thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was in a hip-hop band with some lads from college. I actually met them because I threatened to kick the shit out of all of them. So I was at college, and... one of my friends was a beatboxer, an amazing beatboxer, amazing graffiti artist, and we had a couple of guys rapping and making beats and that, and we weren't that good, really. We were never going to go anywhere.
You've not actually told us what you were doing in the hip-hop band.
Scratching.
Just doing a bit of scratching. Did you learn any moves?
No.
Did you spin on your head or anything like that?
No, still shit. I've got a ball patch, though.
So, you did that, you went from hip-hop, you moved into the dance music scene and all that.
How it happened is, because I was at college, one of my friends there asked me to do an 18th birthday party at the venue, and I thought, God, playing in clubs, it's just amazing. And this was when, Acid House was just first coming out, and it was just totally different. It blew my mind. I just got it straight away. I went to Tenerife, Paradise Lost, and saw all these, like, Acid House heads, proper far-out hippie guys, and I just fell in love with them. I fell in love with the music. I always remember hearing Dream Girl by DJ Pierre, and I just, I fell in love with the 303. If everybody doesn't know what a 303 is, it's the acid machine. And I fell in love with that, and 808s and 909s, and I was just hooked from that minute. Hip-hop was history.
You've made an unbelievable name for yourself, and you're a pioneer and an inspiration to a lot of DJs and stuff. Obviously, your early days, like you say, you went to Tenerife, you went to Ibiza, you were doing a lot of the raves, in Blackburn, and all that kind of stuff was going on at the time. At the age of 19, you became the DJ at the Thunderdome, which, if you don't mind me saying, that's what you kind of like Whenever I mention Jay Wearden to anyone, straight away it's Thunderdome.
Yeah, it was a special place. It was a church. It's so hard to describe how good it was, but it totally changed youth culture overnight. It joined the whole of Manchester together. People who were the sort of underclass that really didn't fit in the hacienda, to be honest. It was all the odds and ends, all the football hooligans, all the rough asses from all corners. And if you'd have gone in a club with all those people, it would have ended up kicking off. No one cared about copping off with people. No one cared about fighting. All they cared about was that night enjoying themselves and just enjoying life. It was just so different. Even in the hip-hop days, it was still a crew thing, an aggressive thing. You were dancing against each other. It wasn't. You were all dancing in unison and all interested in each other. It was just mind-blowing, really.
You still talk about it with a lot of passion, and like I say, you've done all these raves and festivals and gigs, and the Thunderdome especially is what you talk about. What would you say the highlight of your 31 years as a DJ? What's been your highlight of that career?
My favourite ever night was actually in Scotland. I've got quite a strong connection in Scotland with Street Rave, and we did a night up there with Street Rave, and I think it was about 1990. And they did it in an old ice rink, and they put a wooden floor in over the ice rink, but it actually melted all the ice. And the Scots are really into the clothes and all that, and they absolutely ruined all their £300 coats and all that. And it's the only night I felt like crying when I'd finished DJing.
How long ago was this?
Oh, it's 29 years ago. But I played back to back with Sasha. Me and Sasha were putting one. This is just when Sasha was going, nuclear and becoming, the god he is now. And we just played one record after another, and we're just playing off each other, using each other's vibe, and it was just a special night. Just
to show what an inspiration you've been over the years, for anyone that don't know this, Sasha on one of his records actually named you as an inspiration to him. That must have felt good.
Oh, it felt amazing. Yeah, he's probably one of the most famous DJs in the world, isn't he, really?
It's brilliant what you're doing. How do you feel over the last 30 years, 31 years, how do you feel the house music scene has changed?
It's diversified, really, and it's become very fragmented, really, and so in some ways it's lost its way. It started to lose its way in sort of 1991, and the sort of unity and love people had for each other. But it was never going to last forever. It was a very special moment, and I think it's probably even bigger than the modern mods and rockers, and it's the biggest cultural revolution that's been brought by music this country's ever seen. Musically, it's you don't get all the same. You get the same genres if you go in a club now. You hear the same sort of music all night. In the older days, you would hear lots of different types of music, lots of more. People play more safe now. There's not as much creativity, I don't think.
One of the things, I've known you for a long time, and obviously we do, a lot of the stuff we do. You're an inspiration to a lot of the DJs, and if you don't mind me saying, one of the things I put that down to is your passion for music.
Oh, massive.
You don't turn up and play a load of records. You kind of like,
I want
you care about it.
I want to tell a story. I believe in what I do, and I care about the people who are coming. It's not about me. I don't care, about being this person that people want to come and see. I care about the music. I care about the people. People think that the scene is the DJ. The scene is the people.
I'd agree with that, and I think most of the time I bump into you now is at the festivals, the Manchester Festival, at Bowlers and stuff. How important is it that the likes of Bowlers and places like that do these, I don't know whether to use the word revival or not, but these Manchester festivals and that, how important is it that things like that carry on?
It is, because it gives people an avenue. It gets people out of the house, doesn't it? And I'm all about new music, but I like the fact that you are part of people's memories, you're part of people's childhoods. That's the most important thing to me, is that I've been part of somebody's life growing up, and you see the joy that people have at hearing a certain tune that they've not heard, forever. That's worth all the money in the world.
As a DJ myself, obviously, talking about bowlers again, because that's normally when I see you now. Obviously, I do the indie room, you do the house room and all that. And I'd agree with you, it's great because there's people, you've got a lot of young people there, you've got a lot of middle-aged people there that perhaps don't go out as much. And, you know, they're reliving all that scene from, like you say, the late 80s and early 90s. And
it's special. And one of my favourite things is that I like to see people with their own children, and they're experiencing what they experienced as a child with their 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old kids. And that's so lovely to see. And, you know, they'll introduce me to them as I'm flying through. But I love to see that.
Asses.
Oh, always. Yeah. You've got it.
I'm always going to remember it's you now. Every time we're at bowlers, I'm going to remember that.
Yeah, but I actually stare into your eyes, but you don't realise as I do it.
It's dark, isn't it? It's dark backstage. That's what it is, isn't it? That's what it is. So obviously, I remember speaking to you a few years ago, and you'd sort of like cut down a little bit what you were doing, but you seem to be as busy as ever now.
I am, and I go through. I pick and choose what I play. I have a really good career outside of music, which I never talk about. My private life's very private, but I have a really good job, so I just pick and choose and do the things that I want to do, really, and do the special things. And I have a young child as well, so I want to spend time with my family, really, to be honest.
It's great that you can say that about your outside career and your family and still be as passionate as you are about music, and that's one of the things that I personally, as a friend, absolutely love about you. What are the future plans for Jay Wearden? Then obviously we've got Christmas coming up. What does 2020 hold for Jay Wearden?
I can't. It sounds daft, but you know when people go, "Oh, I've got this," and I can't actually say.
You're not going in the jungle or Love Island or something.
No, but I tell you what, I've got some amazing things happening next year. Yeah.
Are you going to come back on and tell us when they're up?
Yeah, definitely. I can tell you everything at New Year.
New Year. The production team getting back on in the new year. Yeah. Listen, Jay Wearden, honestly, I'm not just saying it like yourself. I work and I meet a lot of DJs, but I genuinely mean it when I say you're an absolute inspiration to many, and it's brilliant knowing you. Will you please make some noise for the brilliant Jay Wearden? Big Brother next year, that's still going.